Hey, welcome back. I'm glad that you are here. And today I'd like to show you something that caught my eye and I bought from a store here in the United States called Walmart. It was under the Ausdom name, and I thought it was pretty interesting. And as you can already tell from the thumbnail and the title, it's this right here. This is the box it comes in. It's a face tracking tripod. But I happen to think that this might be kind of like a generic type tripod, because if you look on the box, there's only one place that says Ausdom on it, and let me make sure I get it up right for you. It's right here. It's like a sticker that they put over a previous barcode, and oops, right there it says Ausdom. So I think it might be just like kind of a generic thing that anybody can slap their name on and whatever. But that's what I got. Okay. Now I did order this from the Ausdom website. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. I made a boo-boo on that one. On the Walmart website. But when I went to the Ausdom website to look for this, it wasn't on there. So that's what makes me think it's kind of like a generic thing, and they just decided to sell it, probably for a quick buck to see if it works good. Who knows? But I'll leave a link for the Walmart location, and I did find it on Amazon here in the US and in the UK. You can look for it on eBay as well. Just put how I was able to find it on eBay. In the search bar, I just put down face tracking tripod, and there's plenty of them there, but for this specific model, I looked for it, and yes, you can find it. Now, mind you, this tripod, when I bought it off of the Walmart website, was only 30 bucks, $29.99, and I was like, okay, how good can this thing really be? So, here we are. Inside the box, you get a nice little pamphlet here telling you how to get it to work. You get a small little charging cable. It's USB-A on one side, USB-C on the other side. You get the tripod itself along with its base. The base, by the way, is also a tripod mount. So you don't have to use this base because, you know, all you got to do is just twist it in here. There you go. But if this is too low for you, if you have a tripod, you can actually put a tripod on the bottom and away you go. Now, I didn't take this off yet, but underneath this shiny plastic stuff, it's actually rubber. And it'll hold it in place pretty good. And if you notice, it's slightly raised here on the bottom. There's a slight little ledge right here. That's because this whole cylinder part rotates. Now this will rotate allegedly 360 degrees, and it will track you. Now in my initial testing, it worked fine. But let's take a look around the whole thing right now. On the back is the charging port, and you get two lights. One tells you that it's charging, and then it goes off when it's fully charged. On the front, basically, is a little camera that'll find you. That's what this part is. And let me see. There you go. Right there is the power button to turn it on and off. And this is the phone holder. And as you can tell, it goes up and down. Not just that, but you can also turn it around. So portrait or landscape mode. And that's pretty much it. There's a pretty good amount of resistance there. So I think it'll definitely hold up some phones for you. Now, you do not need no apps for this or Bluetooth needed. You just turn this on, let it work. It does allegedly have AI tracking, so it's supposed to identify either your face or your body in order to move. In the directions they tell you, don't move too fast because it may not be able to catch you or something. I don't know. Because I really can't imagine me zipping around back and forth. I'm not a runner or anything. It does, like I said before, it does rotate 360 degrees. You have a 2200 milliamp hour battery built into this, which will give you up to 8 hours of runtime. But once again, that depends on how many times it's rotating, if you ever leave it on and you're not really using it, you know, things of that nature. There's a couple different variables. So if you don't get truly the 8 hours out of it, there's a couple reasons why. Like I said, you might be moving it, and if it's rotating and moving a lot, trying to keep you in shot, the more you use that, the more power it uses, the more the battery's going to drain, okay? Now the phone holder, now this is the weakest part about this tripod. This part here expands, from 2 inches to 3.6 inches in length. Now with my Samsung Galaxy S7, it does fit in there. Even though I got my Rink case on it, it still does fit. But if your phone doesn't seem to fit with the case on, you may have to take the case out. That's about the only weak part about this tripod. Obviously, it's probably like an older model, and that's why it only goes up to 3.6 inches, or let's just say 3.5 inches. Sorry, I forgot to write down how many millimeters or centimeters that is, so everybody using a metric system, I'm sorry, just look online for a conversion tool that'll tell you what 3.5 inches is compared to metric. Okay, I'm sorry. But that's the weakest part so far that I found about this tracking tripod, if you will. The other weak, well, I don't really consider this a weak point, but one thing I wish whoever manufactured this, I wish what they would have done is, instead of having this nice little hinge mechanism here that it looks like if you were to, because right here and right here, there's 2 little rubber pads you can remove, and there's like a screw and a nut in there. But this little part looks like it could fit a GoPro mount, but I tried it. Doesn't work, at least with the mounts that I have. It's the GoPro mounts that I have are just a little bit too thick to fit in here, so don't try it, you may break it. But I digress. I wish they would have had a different way of mounting this, so you could have, if this wasn't wide enough, but say you have a phone holder that you can somehow attach to there with a different type of mounting system that's wide enough for your phone, I wish you could have done it if they would have used a different mount, different type of mounting system. But hey, can't have everything, right? So enough of me talking. By the way, that is pretty much all of the specs for the Ausdom face tracking tripod. So enough of me talking. Give me a second, I'll be right back. What I'm going to do is put my phone in it. So yes, you're going to see a little bit of video from my Samsung Galaxy S7. No microphone like I'm wearing here. It's just going to be audio from the phone. And you'll see this in action, and then I'll come back with my final thoughts. I'll be right back. Okay, so right now you're seeing and hearing video coming from my Samsung Galaxy S7 that is currently in the face tracking tripod. Now the reason why I don't have a microphone hooked up to my phone right now is, since I'm using this tripod, one of the things I wanted to test and let you see for yourself is if the motor that's inside this tripod is loud enough to come through the audio and the video. So right now this part of the test is just me talking to see if there's any noise coming in, if it's louder than my voice, or is it just acceptable. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remain quiet, walk in this circle, and see if any noise is coming through. By the way, you might hear a little bit of a hissing because, well, it's winter time right now and it's 19 degrees outside and I got the heat on. Okay, the other thing in the instructions that they give you, it says that this can track you up to 16 feet away from the tripod. Right about now, I'm probably a good 10 feet away from the tripod. And it's tracking just fine. Now I'm about 15 feet away. And let's go even farther. This is actually about 18 feet away and it just lost track. But even if I'm about 15 feet away, it seems like it's kind of lagging very, very slightly. So what I would suggest is for the sweet spot for this to track you would be anywhere from 10 to 12 feet away. To me, that would be pretty much the sweet spot, so you're not going to lose the track. The tracking interface, if you will, of this tripod. So, one last little test we're going to do with this tripod, since in the instructions they tell you don't move too fast because it may not track you. So let's now I'm just walking now, so let's kind of move a little bit quicker. Well, it looks like if you're doing a nice fast walk like I'm doing right now, it'll still track you. So if you do a nice little fast walk, it'll still track you. All right, let's get back to the video and my final thoughts. Okay, you've seen the test video, so what do I think of the Ausdom face tracking tripod? Well, for 30 bucks from Walmart, it actually works really, really nicely. I was pretty impressed with it, especially that there is no noise, at least I didn't hear any noise coming into the audio from the motor that's built into this little thing. Like I said, the only drawback that I could see is the phone holder itself, since it only goes from 2 inches to 3.6 inches. I would really more or less like to say 3.5 inches. Let's be on the safe side. Yes, even though with my phone here, I left it in the case and it worked, it held it perfectly, no problems with it. You may, depending upon the thickness of your case, you may have to actually take it out to use the face tracking tripod. But would I still recommend it? Yeah. It was, you heard if there was any noise coming out of this into the audio, you heard it. So I do recommend it. For 30 bucks, if you got a, small enough phone, meaning this way, but if you plan on doing some moving in your videos or something, or maybe even if you're just doing some home video, like maybe during the holidays or a birthday or something, and you just want to have it, that's fine. Just remember though, this will only track one person. So if there's a couple of people in the shot, it may not work. It's really for one person usage, if you will. The one thing I forgot to mention is right on top of the lens, you see that little dot right there? That's the power indicator light. So if you press and hold, there's the power indicator light. Now, if you want this to stop tracking, you just simply give that button a quick tap and it'll stop tracking, meaning it'll just stay right there. To get it back on, you press the button again. But you press and hold to turn it out. See how it was red? That means it stopped tracking. Now, let me turn it on, and then okay, it's on now. Give it that quick press. See how it turned red? That means it's no longer tracking. You give it the quick press again, the red light goes off, it comes back to blue, and the blue light will continuously flash like that, letting you know that it's tracking and that it's powered on. To power it off, you press and hold, and there you go. It's off. That's it. I do like that you could do portrait mode or landscape mode on it. And for 30 bucks, to me, it performs very, very well. Is it something very niche? Meaning like not everybody's going to use it? Yeah, most likely, but it's still a fun little thing to have. If you happen to make videos where you might be moving from time to time, Instead of having maybe a multiple cameras set up to flip from camera to camera, maybe you can get something like this. I don't know, but I still think it's worth the 30 bucks. And I hope you do too. And that's it for this video. If you happen to like it, please give it that thumbs up, and do not forget about subscribe to my channel. If you're not already, why? It's free. You don't have to pay for anything. And if you do subscribe, please hit that notification bell so you're notified every time a new video comes up. It would really help me out a lot too if you were to share this video and a few more of my others on all of your social media. Well, until the next video, you, your friends, your family, and all of your pets, you all have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.